in the last 2 years that's come on television must be an initiated witch. You're not on television or in the movies because you're good. You're there because you paid a price, whatever the producer wanted from you. Any of the new shows coming on, you can just check them off. Those people belong to a witchcraft or Satanist brotherhood somewhere, or they wouldn't be there. To be a member of their staff, actors and actresses, you must bear the scar of initiation. Now, it's witchcraft. In the early 70s and late 60s, it was homosexuality. And before that, the producer's couch and so on. But now it's witchcraft. Women, except in the higher councils, are the leaders. The high priest is in the coven, but he's only the enforcer. The high priestess is the pastor.
I think the most horrifying thing is what they make you do to children through the abuse and say that you did it or that you wanted to, even though they're the ones that forced you to do it.
The most painful memories, I think, as Tom said, I think it is having to become a perpetrator yourself.
They had me slay babies and young children. Then you have to digest different body parts.
To you, I get so hungry when you say love me. If you know what's good for you, I think you're hot, I think you're cool. You're the kind of guy I'd stalk in school, but now that I'm famous, you're up my anus. Now I'm gonna eat you for. Then when I'm thirsty, I drink their blood. Carnivore animal, I am a cannibal. I eat poison. You better run.
I began to drink blood because it gave me a rush, it gave me a thrill. You know, it was like, wow, I'm drinking blood, you know. And then I began to like it. You know, the taste of it, I liked the taste of it. It was a very strange taste and I liked it. And it got to the point where I had to carry blood around with me all the time. Because if I didn't, I'd get to thinking about it and that'd be all I could think about. It was like it was craving, like, you know, I needed it.
I hate the truth. In fact, I hate the truth so much, I'd prefer a giant dose of bullshit any day over the truth. Show me your teeth. Stand up. It's time to get your second wind, you bunch of drunk assholes. Let's go, sing! Jesus. Show me your teeth. Show me your teeth. You are such an asshole. You know that? You are such an asshole on that instrument. You are so goddamn disrespectful on that
And it's all a big hive and a big web because they all have that all-seeing eye. They're all connected with a hive mind and they can't get out of it. It's having one of those beings in you so that you can be connected, so you can see what to do and when to do it in coordination with the rest of them. Being the authority and the police, the all-seeing eye is the police. Dead inside, their eyes are dead, and they are animated when those spirits take over, and then they jump around and move around, but that's the only time they do.
How many of them would kill their firstborn for money? Well, they all had to.
And what we discovered there is that Jolene has a number of different people inside. The particular person that came out as Cassandra still feels like she lives in the world of having a child in a ritual abuse group and being forced to be impregnated, forced to carry the child, to have the child under the most abusive of circumstances, to observe the child being horribly abused and then being forced to kill that child, and then to experience with the group the cannibalistic activities.
Virtually all our female patients have had their own babies sacrificed.
The lower witches believe that the power for witchcraft comes from orgies and sex. The higher witches believe it's attained by human blood.
When you get up into a higher level, you find out that the power rests with blood sacrifice. You become what is called a human chalice. In other words, you are proving to Satan through the blood and the death of this person that you are sold totally out to him.
The lower witches believe that the power for witchcraft comes from orgies and sex. The higher witches believe it's attained by human blood.
When you get up into a higher level, you find out that the power rests with blood sacrifice. You become what is called a human chalice. In other words, you are proving to Satan through the blood and the death of this person that you are sold totally out to him.
Virtually all our female patients have had their own babies sacrificed. They witness terrible, terrible things.
Can I stop for a minute?
I think together they've seen over 1,000 murders. Just my patient. 10% of the population of Great Britain are practicing Satanists.
You're talking about 5.5 million Satanists.
Yes.
In fact, Marilyn Manson seems to have viewed the sacrificial killing of his own child as a pivotal point of depravity necessary for the success of his album Antichrist Superstar, which was released soon after the murder.
The lower witches believe that the power for witchcraft comes from orgies and sex. The higher witches believe it's attained by human blood.
When you get up into a higher level, you find out that the power rests with blood sacrifice. You become what is called a human chalice. In other words, you are proving to Satan through the blood and the death of this person that you are sold totally out to him.
When I first started doing this work, I thought that probably the motivation had really to do with sex and money, that these were people who were pedophiles. But I've come to feel over the course of doing this work for almost 10 years that the motivations are really much more sinister. The children are really being abused for purposes of indoctrination.
More recently, we're beginning to hear more specific techniques of indoctrination and torture. Torture is very frequently used to one, strengthen the individual to maintain secrecy within the cult, that is, intimidate.